buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip, unzip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jam, unlock it, surf it, scroll it, pause it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it, technologic.
Live from studios in Self Hall on the beautiful campus of Jacksonville State University, it's the Hey Techies Show. Now, here are your hosts in chairs that should have been thrown out years ago, Michael, Bruce, and the Guru.
Well, what's going on, guys?
Just happy to be back.
Bruce is here. What?
Yay, Bruce is here.
Bruce is here, and it's the Guru. He's in too. I feel like I'm that old show where the person when used to look through the little looking glass to see who the kids were here. When named the kids, you probably don't remember that show. I was real young.
No, I don't remember.
And there's
that show.
Johnny and Jill and Jimmy and Susie and.
That's way before my time.
Yeah, it probably is. Y'all two are just youth, really, very young kids, just whippersnappers.
Did Captain Kangaroo?
No, it wasn't Captain Kangaroo. It was some other show. It might have been the Coloring Book, or nah, that don't sound right. I don't remember.
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, maybe it was Reading Rainbow. I don't remember exactly, but that's not a big deal. I have a confession I've got to make tonight, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, I
please,
do.
Please do.
I hope the authorities are not listening. But later on, I'm deciding when to do it. I'm still debating.
Downloaded the internet.
No, not legally. But, yeah, I get confession tonight, maybe, possibly. By the way, welcome into the Hey Techies Show. So glad we could have you with us here tonight.
We occasionally talk about tech.
We talk about tech a lot. We hope you're doing well. And if you would like to call the show, and if the phone's working tonight, who knows, we'll take a chance, 256-782-5600. And you can be on the Hey Techies Show, and we would love to have you. Also, HeyTechiesShow.com. And you can access everything for the show right from there. Also, questions at HeyTechiesShow.com. So, if you want to be a part of the show that way. But anyway, so Bruce, you've been doing well.
Yeah, man. I guess
2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I was
you were out 2 weeks.
Black Hat and DEF CON, and then my wife had some stuff going on.
Oh, that's
week.
all right. No worries. Family's important.
Didn't let me know until last minute.
Hey, that's okay. Like I said, family's important.
Yeah. And let me tell you this though.
Okay.
She swears she told me like weeks ago.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but
sure.
I want to say it was Wednesday night. I'm asleep, and she goes, "Hey, tomorrow I've got a meeting or something, at blah blah blah." And I was in my sleep. And I was like, "She's telling me this in my sleep." So I said, "Okay." And then the next morning I was like, "Did you really tell me this in my sleep?" "Oh, I told you that weeks ago." "No, you didn't." Yeah, I did. I said, "Well, you told me in my sleep." I just woke up and was cognizant. I was just aware enough to think, she's telling me this and I'm asleep.
So funny.
It was surreal.
Oh, yeah.
Surreal?
It was.
Oh, okay. Never heard it described that way, but okay.
What?
Well, because I knew I was asleep, but I was conscious enough to
asleep, but
to
not
realize
but
that
not asleep.
It was weird.
That is weird.
But Guru, you're doing well, huh? The
yes.
Guru's doing good.
I feel like I've just flown in here.
Sure.
Not literally, but
Basically.
figuratively.
Well, hey, I came in on 2 wheels.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
Guys, do you miss any? You notice anything?
Yeah, you're missing your wearable, your smartwatch. What's up with
Yeah.
that? Are you finally switching to iPhone and
break
Apple
it?
Watch?
You broke it.
No. Actually, I didn't break the watch.
The band.
The band did break. It's breaking, and because the way I
Do you have insurance?
No.
Really? You don't have insurance
The
on
thing's
it?
almost 2 years old. Do you know I've kept that thing working well 2 years? Can you? I mean, I can't believe the glasses stayed in it. I knew I was going to scratch it up and hit it. It's amazing.
Let's not,
It really
you're
is
not talking about like a
I can hear.
Timex
I was gonna say
here.
I can hear our main man Micah right now. He's gonna call in and say, Michael, I've got a watch that I've had for 30 years.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
that wouldn't be me. I mean,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
this is like a record to keep the crystal in one piece.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It's an
That's
amazing.
I buy.
but-
I always buy
can't
the
you-
protection.
but listen
plans
to
on
me,
those
listen
But
to
things.
with yours, can't you just get a new band?
If you would let me
Like
finish,
any band?
I was good trying to finish.
Okay, sorry.
You
But why didn't you
can't.
buy insurance?
You can't. I don't buy insurance on everything. They're
He's
they're
self-insured.
If you can, yeah. So I'm self-insuring this one. That's right. Because I haven't spent anything on it except for the original cost. I mean, this is going to cost me $25 to get a new band.
and how much
Yeah.
does the frustration cost you
Nah, it's not really. Not.
over time?
I don't know.
Let's dig into the archives every time you talk bad about your watch.
I don't think he
hasn't
ever
been.
has.
Yes, I have.
yeah, it's a couple times.
I did because but they fixed it. It was broke
Oh,
for
yeah,
a period
yeah,
of
yeah.
time. It would sink some things, but they did fix it.
Well, go ahead.
But anyway, I'm gonna have to get. It's a leather band, and I wear them out because where you put the hole in, eventually, when you strap and strap and
Yeah.
strap, it eventually
Well, I'm getting
wears.
sweaty at work. And
Right, and
stuff like that.
but I have missed it. I definitely have had to look at my phone more today because I was afraid that I would break it. I'm afraid it would fall
yeah,
off
yeah.
and I
You'd
couldn't
lose
catch
it.
it, and then that would be would hit.
Well,
sure.
I've let
So-
someone borrow mine for quite a few
Yeah, I
months
know.
now.
I know you. Yeah.
And actually,
I think
saw
they
him
own
this
they,
weekend.
they own it now.
Yeah. Well, he said I need to give you this watch back,
Permanent loan.
and because the reason why he wanted to try it out because he wants one that he can make phone calls on. So he's
Right.
gonna get one and add it to his plan.
Apple Watch.
But I was like, "Have you talked on it yet?" And he was like, "Well, no," because I mean, you could talk on the watch I let him borrow. I was
Oh.
like, "I really think you should try talking on
Yeah,
it
I got.
I'm not a
before you decide."
I'll say with my Apple Watch, I'm not a fan with talking on it.
I'm not. Yeah, I just now
If
now
it didn't
you
have
could
that, if it didn't have that feature, I would be like, no
pair
big deal.
Pair some headphones with it. You know, if you're using it to, because that was his thing. Like, if he goes out running or something, or takes his dog for a walk, he don't want to have to carry his phone. He wants to just be able to carry his watch.
Yeah, I mean, I see the feature.
But does your
No doubt.
smartwatch have a LTE in it?
Yeah.
Or? Okay. You
Yeah.
have to pay extra for that.
you do.
Yeah.
That's why I said just do it. Do it. Pair it to your phone, and talk on it. Basically, through your phone, but through the watch
as a Bluetooth device.
as a Bluetooth device, and see what that experience is like. Because I don't think he's gonna like it.
I don't like it on iPhone.
I don't. But I'm one of those type of people too. Like when I'm out in public, I won't put my phone on speaker. I really don't want to be on the phone in public.
yeah, I don't like that.
Like I will walk away from a crowd just so I can so I can hear.
So you don't have a
And-
crowd say shh shh.
Well, no,
I'm on the phone.
because
Shh.
I just know that I am curious, so I always eavesdrop on people's
Oh.
conversations.
So if you're ever around Bruce on the phone, be aware he's listening in.
No, phone or not, I can't help it. I cannot help it. I can listen.
Send
to
your complaints to
I
Bruce
can
at
listen to-
heytakeshow.com.
I can listen to 3 or
No
4
one will ever
conversations
read it.
at once.
No.
But seriously though, I have. It's been well known fact on the show how much I've said I really enjoyed my watch and
That is
really
a
didn't
true
think I
statement.
would originally.
That is a true statement
And
as well.
Yes.
it has really been useful, and I was glad I actually caught the fact that it was unraveling
Yeah.
because I would have really had I either lost it or it fell off and damaged.
You
I
would have had a
would've-
good excuse to get an iPhone and an Apple Watch.
Oh, I am not.
I don't think I'm
One
gonna-
day, Michael,
I
you
like
will.
my Pixel too. XL. I like this phone.
I don't.
One day.
I don't think I realize how much I miss my watch until I get my watch back. I don't think I'll realize how much I missed it. Occasionally, I still do find myself. I'm like, oh man, it'd be nice.
Yeah, we don't have a
I
recording
wondered
right now.
about that. I meant to ask you.
Yeah, it's
You'll
kind
have to
of,
do it in the break.
yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, we got it right there.
Yeah, we'd have to. I'll have to
Hey,
it's not. It's not
techieshows.com.
the end of the world. Listen to us live anyway.
Yeah, but I will say that I'm probably gonna realize like I missed it a lot when I do get it back. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the Pixel Watch to come out because, I'm sure that watch I have has got plenty of scratches and cracks
Yeah.
on it. I can say,
Sure.
hey, time to claim my insurance here.
Well, here's one of those.
Swap this bad
Here's
boy
one of
out.
those little quick stories that can get us in the right mood to go into the night.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll kind of pause about 3.5 minutes here.
Well,
I
that's
guess
okay. It
top off.
doesn't. It's not really tech, so it doesn't matter. Well,
Okay,
I'm not
sure.
even worried about that tonight. But this is going to be tied into something Guru really sort of.
Oh,
He
uh-oh.
he loves space travel, SpaceX,
Yes, I do.
anything space.
Yeah.
Well, Guru, I got something for you.
Okay.
Headline, Guru. Now listen to this. Republican running in key Florida race says she was abducted by aliens.
What?
Yes.
Abducted by aliens.
Yes.
And this is like a 2018 story,
Oh, yes.
not 1965.
No.
or
Bonetta Rodriguez Aguilera, an educator, businesswoman, and former city council member, is running in the Republican primary in Florida's 27th district, which that's part of Miami.
something. Okay.
All right. She says,
One of the bluest
when
parts
she,
of
now
Florida,
listen to this.
by the way.
She says she recounts being abducted by aliens as a child.
And she's talking about this on the campaign trail.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I saw three. I saw three creatures.
Let me move and change my voter registration today. No, just-
Right.
just
I
kidding.
saw three.
That's gonna get some votes.
I saw three creatures when I was 7, and I've seen them like 5 or 6 more times when they came back.
5 or 6.
She said in 2009 interview. Okay, so she
Oh,
said
2009.
It's a 2009 interview, but apparently she hasn't
Well-
shied away from it. Listen,
Well, okay.
telepathically, they told me to come out. I went out and saw a round ship. I entered, and there were some round seats and quartz pieces that they used to steer the ship. She said back in 2009 YouTube interview, which apparently can still be found today.
It probably has a gazillion views today.
It probably does.
Wow.
I know. But I mean,
That has nothing to do with space travel. Other
yes,
than,
it does. I mean, listen, we
that's
have a
fic-
real.
That's fiction.
Everybody knows politicians tell the truth. We have we have a bona fide account
Yeah.
of alien meddling.
Oh, so that's alien meddling.
Yes,
It's not the Russians.
Listen,
not the Russians.
They have taken her over, and now they have put her in District 27 in Miami, and we have a real account of space alien meddling in our elections.
Oh, let's get Robert Mueller on that.
No, I'm
today.
serious. They should look into this. This is unbelievable.
Call the White House right now.
Miami,
Stop what you're
that's-
doing. Call the White House. Say, hey,
Right.
don't worry about those Russians. This is what you got to worry about.
Hey,
Alien
Techie Show.
meddling.
We shall be right back with real tech, for sure.
Are you sure
And
about
Bruce
that?
has the smirk of a lifetime over there. Hey, Techie Show. Be right back.
We're just getting started. Plenty more Hey Techies Show for your listening pleasure.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Gain practical experience with emerging technology and equipment not found in the civilian world. The Army National Guard can get you started in an array of STEM-related career fields such as information technology, communication systems, special forces engineers, technical engineering, air traffic control, and chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear science. Get a head start on your career in an exciting new field while earning money to pay for college, all while serving in your own community. Log on to NationalGuard.com or talk to a recruiter in your area to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
The 375,000 acres that make up the 3 ranger districts of Talladega National Forest were purchased by the federal government in 1936 as part of an effort to restore clear-cut timberlands and farmlands no longer capable of producing crops. The beautiful reserve includes the 102-mile Pinhoti National Trail System and Alabama's highest and second highest points, Mount Cheaha and Duggar Mountain.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the
When a
ADA,
child
and
plays
the
with
station.
blocks, the skills of a future engineer, rocket scientist, contractor, and architect are developing. A child on the playground is practicing the skills of a future athlete. When a child creates art, the skills of a future illustrator, author, and artist are being discovered. In a first-class pre-K classroom, children do all these these things and discover a lifetime love of learning. For more information on pre-K, go to children.alabama.gov or just Google pre-K in Alabama. Sponsored by Alabama Department of Early Childhood Education.
Ready?
Are you ready, Michael?
Apparently I was. Welcome into the Hey Techies Show. So glad to have everybody, and Bruce is in quite the mood. So,
Man, I'll tell you what.
well,
Tell us what.
Let me ask you a couple questions, Bruce, if I can. I didn't clear this, so you can tell me no.
No.
Is there anything you can tell us about going to Las Vegas and going to Black Hat? I mean,
so it'll probably be surprising to a lot of our listeners. This is my first time to Black Hat and DEF CON.
That's a shocker.
well, it's expensive. Number one,
it is
isn't it? It's pretty expensive.
Well-
Even the tickets to one of them is pretty expensive, right?
Yeah, Black Hat's expensive. DEF CON's not too bad. It's like $280. I'm not a gambler.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I knew that,
and that was
already.
confirmed because I was like, I took some money. I was like, let's
Have
see.
you been to Vegas prior?
No,
Oh,
time. in
first
Vegas.
time. Okay.
I walked a lot. Definitely got my steps in every day, about 12 or 13 miles.
Yeah,
Every
that's,
day.
That's easy to do.
But I will say if you haven't ever gone and you're planning on going, for Black Hat, definitely just plan to spend all your time on the vendor floor. Don't even go to the briefings.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was going to
'cause-
ask you about that too.
Well, they all get recorded. Just make note of the ones you want to know about.
Okay.
And then go back and watch them. But also a lot of them get rebranded and presented at DEF CON in a little more depth.
Okay.
I was really upset because a lot of the villages that I wanted to go to the first day of DEF CON, they weren't quite ready yet. They were still trying to get stuff
it together.
connected. Yeah. But let me back up to Black Hat first. There are trainings that you can go to, and those are expensive. I didn't go to any of those. Also, keep in mind, too, that B-Sides goes on around that same time. So there's actually 3 conferences that go on. B-Side tickets are free, but they're kind of hard to get. They're first come, first serve.
So
I didn't do
for
that.
people who
What's this
don't know.
B-side?
Yeah, for
It's all this is just all security.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, just all
So
information.
do you
security
have
stuff.
it? Could you give us an example of a vendor that might be at B-side that maybe?
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that's not where vendors.
Okay, all
Vendors are for Black Hat.
I got you.
Black Hat's your more corporate.
Right. Exactly.
And they spare no expense. Good Lord. Tons of vendors there had awesome booths that had good giveaways. Nice swag to give away, but they all want 15 to 20 minutes of your time.
Oh, sure.
To give you their dog and pony show. And I mean, you kind of need to let them do that if if it's a product you want to know more about. So then you can decide, okay, I want to know more about that, or which I'm like, man, give me like 3 minutes. I will know within 3 minutes
Right.
whether I want to know more about your product or not.
Yeah.
But it's marketing. They're trying
Sure.
to get as much eyeball time as they can, but it's a ton of people. But the briefings, like I said, it was. I would skip those next time.
Did you go to any one of those? Did you
Yeah,
go to a few of them?
I went to a few, and I was like, man, I really wish I would have been
Okay.
there instead. Because actually, I know for sure one of them that I saw some of the exact same slides I saw at DEF CON. It was one of the same people in that group, and she paired up with somebody else. And
Gotcha.
They altered the present, but I mean, it was basically this. They actually went more in depth at DEF CON.
Yeah.
But yeah, just tons of vendors, tons of stuff to see. A lot of them throw vendor parties and stuff like that. Get you to come talk to them.
Yeah, the one picture you sent me looked like it was a rock concert going on there.
Okay, so no. That was actually the keynote.
Okay.
So that was, the kickoff to the whole experience. And it was kind of like a rock con. It was pretty neat. And then, of course, they had
theatrical lighting, smoke,
yeah, man, it was
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and I was sitting in like the front kind of right corner, so I could kind of see.
Yeah, you had a good shot.
Yeah,
the picture was great.
And I'll say this: if you ever go to anything like that, don't sit on the ground floor.
Yeah,
because the stage is raised,
right?
And I just don't understand why people. I mean, I know they want to be
close as they
can,
but it takes forever to get out when it's over.
Well, yeah, I guess that too, but
I mean that's a disadvantage.
But you can't see anything because I went and saw Circus Soleil when they were in Birmingham, and I was like, man, I'm getting ground floor tickets. I did, and I was like, I really wish I was up a little bit.
Yeah, and the big conferences I've been to in the past, they'll have the big room for like the kickoffs and stuff with everybody in the room. They have these huge, projectors and video walls and stuff, so you can see exactly what's going on stage from anywhere in any seat in the house.
Yeah, but
sit towards the back, and then you can get out quick.
Yeah, that's true.
So when it's over, and all thousands of people trying to leave that room at the same time.
It's a lot of people. Now, I would say DEF CON probably had 30,000 people.
Oh, wow.
It was insane.
So which convention place in Vegas were these at?
So Black Cat was at Mandalay Bay, and DEF CON was at Caesars and the Flamingo. So they had overflow. Like, that's how big they had all of Caesars taken up, and then stuff over at the Flamingo too. So it was huge. And actually, one of my buddies, I won't say his name on the air, I'll tell y'all off air. He worked as a goon at DEF CON, so he was there helping out. And I'm walking through the vendor area there where you can buy stuff. I was just walking through checking it out, and I one of the goons, like, I see him, say hey to me or something. I'm not making eye contact. I'm because I had my sunglasses on. I was actually dressed up.
Now he tells us.
Because, well, I mean, just think of Hacker Convention, and I'm like, I'm gonna make everybody uncomfortable.
I'll bet you did.
I'm gonna be suited up.
Wow.
I can only imagine.
Had some dark aviator shades on.
Yeah. Did you get checked at the door?
No. But yeah, for my badge, I guess. But but I saw one of my guy was like, and I was just like, shook my head no and kept going because I thought he was like, because all of them are, hey, are you trying to look for something? Like,
right.
And I just walked past, and then I walked out and looked at my phone. I had a message. He's like, "Are you at DEF CON?" I was like, "Yeah." "Are you at DEF CON?" He's like, "Dude, you just walked past me." I was like, "That was you." Which, I mean, he did look a little different. I think he had lost some weight and had less hair.
But he recognized you.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
So I ran back in there and hugged him.
Sure.
But I was like, oh my gosh, dude! Like, totally did not expect, especially working.
I was waving at him there, and Bruce just ignored me.
Yeah, pretty much. This is why I was like, I don't know these people.
Yeah.
But and it was
just mere peasants.
So, was there anything that surprised you there? Like you said, wow, I've never. I mean, I've never been, obviously, so I was just curious if there's any. You keep up with a lot of security stuff, and
I would say not really.
Okay,
I mean, a lot of it I knew. I will say there was one presentation on something that I knew a lot about, and I get their take on a lot of this stuff. They're like, there's inherently a problem with this product. Granted, there's other mitigations. It's like at the core, there's something wrong here that needs to be fixed, and they're like, this is a vulnerability, and they actually, did it responsibly. Told the vendor. I mean, this is, I don't even know what version of software they're on now, but this was back like at least 2 years ago.
Okay,
I remember them being on that software, so it's been a while. But I was just like, some of the stuff he was saying, I was like, well, no, that wouldn't work because this is the way I would have configured it, and that's actually probably the way you're supposed to configure it, and that wouldn't even be that's a non-issue.
Right.
But then I stopped. You have to stop and think, like, man, there's people that set up things all the time the incorrect way.
That's correct. Yeah.
So it's like if they were to just set it up just
Right.
like this, then absolutely that's a problem. So it was interesting. Sorry, I should not have gotten that Coke. Good Lord. So yeah, that was interesting, especially when it's something that I knew a whole lot about. I was kind of like, I mean, you're kind of stretching here. I mean, yeah, there definitely still is a vulnerability there, which I went up and told him. I was like, hey, you should also try and do this, because like when I had that product, I did this and it was doing these things, and I think you'd find that really interesting. Like that's another little research thing you can do there, and it plays into more supply chain stuff.
While you were there, I saw a news story about some individuals who were presenting about being able to take over satellites and use the satellites as microwaves almost, and send those back down and damage things. That was one of the. That's a simplification.
Yeah, I did not go to that one.
Well, yeah, I figured you did, but it was interesting.
Yeah, there's one that I went, and it kind of tied into one that I went. The guy was saying, basically getting into an airplane from the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, through basically their wireless infrastructure. So,
okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, it was a great experience. I'd love to go back. My company sent me because I would probably not have been able to afford it on my own. It is, especially just paying for the hotels and
right.
Food is expensive. Of course, didn't really have to pay for food.
Now,
but I will say it's you really, as much because it was kind of last minute decision that I was going.
Right.
But if that's something you think you'll go to, I mean, map that. Have a plan.
Yeah, I'll bet you
to utilize the most amount of your time, because there's a lot of stuff that happens at night that I would have loved to have gone to, but I was beat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an old man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
Look, it's 10 o'clock. I'm heading back because and that's the thing too, because I get up so early every morning. I thought, man, I'll be able to adjust. I still wasn't able to.
Taxi, ride-sharing service.
I did Uber a good bit, but it really just depends.
Yeah, a lot of walking. I know you told
Yeah,
us.
I tried to walk a lot because there was so much food, and I was like, man,
right.
I need to.
Yeah.
I need to walk all these calories.
You can eat what you want when you travel.
Yeah, but now in the mornings,
especially if you walk a lot.
In the mornings, I'd usually because a lot of times taxis are just sitting there waiting. So I'll just go ahead and do that. But now, cost wise, it wasn't a huge difference, to be honest. I mean, over several trips, yeah, I could add up, because I would say, on average, a taxi was probably like $3 or $4 more.
Mm-hmm.
But Uber. Well, I would even say with the taxis, like the quality of vehicle you got was kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Okay.
And I would say another thing too, like the thing I guess that is neat about Uber, they say this is how much it's going to cost before you even get in the vehicle. Yeah. But they actually had a really bad storm while I was there, and a gentleman that picked me up the next day, I asked him, about getting caught in the weather, because I actually had to. We were getting done with dinner, and I went into one of the casinos. And the wind was blowing so hard it actually broke one of their doors.
Oh, gosh.
So I kind of hung out there for a little while until it all passed. But he said that he had taken a different route that was longer because it was safer when all that stuff was going on. And it cost the person that was riding like $2 extra or $3 extra. And the guy complained to Uber about him. And he was like, I think he said the whole ride was like $6.
So it went from like 3 or 4 to $6.
$6, yeah. And he was just like, I'm not even going to fight it. But he said, which I didn't realize this because I had not really used Uber a whole lot, but you as a rider, they get to rate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that's
I knew that.
Yeah.
You rate the driver, and the driver rates the rider. So
I actually learned that on this show. Believe it or not, we've covered that before. I think Guru covered it one time.
It'd be funny.
You covered it.
No, I don't. I think Guru
I may have
mentioned-
covered it from experience. 'cause,
Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
about the fact they rate them.
Yeah, they rate the people that the drivers rate the riders,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, that's
I think is neat.
I think it is because I mean he told me he's like apparently the guy was from Italy. He said I picked him up at the airport. He had like 6 things of luggage. I was like, did he have a makeup bag? Good lord! He was like, yeah, he had just a bunch of luggage. He's like, I even put some up in the front seat. He said I normally do because he had a nice car. And he said the guy was just just a jerk.
Yeah,
He's like I was trying to make sure he was safe.
can't make everybody happy.
Okay, so thanks for that. That was
But
interesting.
no, it was a really good experience.
Did you do any other sightseeing there outside of
No, so
Hoover Dam's nearby and
so we had vendors that offered to take us to a lot of places and do a lot of cool stuff.
sure.
But I had to go meet with the quote unquote boring vendors. Actually, I was trying to get some work done.
yeah,
While the other guys,
that's important since you're out there for
Yeah.
work.
the
I mean,
other guys got to go and shoot 50 cals and fully automatic weapons and ride dune buggies and helicopter rides and
from the top of a Prius.
I know. I don't,
Sorry, it's an
they,
inside joke.
Yeah, they took him out to the desert and did that stuff. And there was another one that I'd gotten an invite to, and I really wish I wouldn't done that, but could have drove like a Ferrari or
Wow.
oh my god, all of them are escaping me right now. But I mean, like all these supercars, like you could have just there was a racetrack. Yeah,
My
And
daughter
go-
would die and go to heaven if she could get a ride in a Ferrari.
yeah, man. It was
So she
a
loves that.
McLaren. They had a McLaren.
Yeah.
A lot of different vehicles that you could
Cool.
have taken. So maybe if I get to go next time, like I will set those things up because I feel like I've done my diligence before, like my due diligence. I met with all them. It's like, all right, now I'm gonna go experience that.
Somebody else go do the boring stuff.
Yeah. So, but
You need to get you a protege.
yeah,
Oh yeah, they went.
yeah, they
Yeah.
they took good notes too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took hey, I will say the Office Lens app came in quite handy.
She actually used technology at these hacker conferences. I thought that was like use at your own risk.
It is. It's still use at your own risk, but I definitely had things locked down.
Sure.
And I will say I did do some scanning while I was there. I actually did some Bluetooth scanning during the keynote, and I was like, "Come on, people, update your crap."
So
Because
speaking
I could have just owned so many things there.
so speaking of locking
Yeah.
something down, let's see. Did you know that apparently Pokemon Go, the app,
Oh,
had an update? And
Oh, did
I
it?
don't exactly know the exact date
Pokemon
of that
Stop.
update.
It's gonna
Listen
stop
up, Daniel.
Yeah, listen up, Daniel. They are now actively checking for programs on Android phones that
Location.
that they deem are able to allow a person to cheat. Okay, and then they're actually causing their app not to load. So one of those is a folder found could either be found on the SD card, even if the phone's rooted or not rooted. It's called MAGISK Manager. It's supposed to be one of the known rooting jailbreaking programs. Masky Manager, I think is this. Anyway, pardon me. The point of this is, though, what they found out is they believe that whether or not you give Pokemon permission to look at all your folders, it's doing it anyway. Because apparently they figured this out by somebody writing that folder name. They didn't have the product installed.
Yeah.
They wrote that folder name out there, put the disk in, and it wouldn't load because it found that folder. But they did not give
it permission
permissions
to
to
do that.
look through their folders.
Dang.
That's not good.
So it's actually must be doing it whether you give it permissions or
Did it
not.
nefariously.
Kind of like Google tracking.
Well, I know, but yeah. So anyway, that's interesting. But if you're one of those users that that tries to get your way around and you use an Android phone, then you may be found out by Pokemon. Go, because
you won't be going on Pokemon Go then. You'll be
Niantic,
done. You'll be stopped.
Niantic is after you. They really are.
Wow.
Well, Daniel, we talked about
Quit
how
spoofing
you
your
could-
location.
we talked
Bruce.
about how you could spoof it.
Yeah, you could spoof it.
You can. You just unlock developer options, pick your spoofing app, download a spoofing
That is
app.
Bruce at HeyTechiesShow.com for.
And then there you go.
You can talk Pokemon Go with him.
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle. So you guys got anything?
Absolutely.
Y'all came to the show, right?
We did. We're here.
I'm just wondering.
Well, you were doing such a good job.
I know, but
I have very little this week to contribute.
Well, since we're talking about video games,
Yeah,
I will
by all
talk.
means.
We'll talk about something very exciting. I want to say it's end of this month, beginning of next month, somewhere around there. NVIDIA's going to be releasing their RTX 2080. So you should see the 1080 drop in price, which
just in time for those that are trying to do Bitcoin mining.
well, yeah,
Drops in price.
I would do the
Good luck if
2080.
you can get it.
Well, no, that's the thing. Apparently, that people have stopped buying those, and now
Okay.
now the market
Must have missed that story.
Market's fine. No, we talked about it.
I missed it. Like I said, you miss things around here.
So
we cover so much, it's hard to. tell.
if you were thinking about building, wait just a few more weeks. If you're going to get one of those higher end cards, it's supposed to be 50% faster, is what they're reporting, than the 1080, and I've seen other reports that say 6 times more powerful. I haven't really seen any specs. I'm sure Tom's has it all listed. I'm sure they've gotten a card and have already got all the specs for it. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I may build.
So
a new
what
one.
was those numbers again? What's the new one called?
The RTX 2080. You want me to send
20
you want me to send you the link to the
Eventually, that'd be
Okay,
great. But
great.
the 2080.
Yeah.
Look out for that, folks. Everybody get in line. What kind of price you think?
They've already released the price. It's going to start. I have seen where they said $599.
Oh wow! And this is internal, right? We're not talking. This is not an external. Is this a
graphics card?
Yeah, I know what it is. I didn't know, but there is an external one too.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying. No, it's not one of those.
Okay.
I'm sure they will make one that hooks up externally.
Right.
Now let's go on your desktop. Which, man, that's a sweet looking case. Anyways,
Well, of course, they always have sweet looking cases.
Yeah, got to show it off. But I want to say Newegg's already got some prices out there for bundles, because they're bundling it with processor or a hard drive or a lot of other stuff. So the prices are going to range, I think, from $599 to like $1,200.
Wow.
Just depending upon, because there's steps
Well,
in between
sure.
all those. Of course, they're going to come out with a 2070.
Just like iPhones, there's steps between
Absolutely.
Guru's face.
But
Hey.
I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting little change. I'm kind of curious to see how far the 1080 is going to go down in price, because I looked the other day
It's
and
gonna go way down.
Yeah, it is.
So
it's going to be like the
far-
cost of an Android phone.
so far it has not changed much. But I guess it's because the new one's not actually out yet. So, which, speaking of prices of Android phones,
Yes. Yeah.
Just buy an iPhone. Don't worry about the price of an Android phone, because you just need to buy an iPhone.
and pay $1,000.
No, don't get,
and that's
don't
where-
get the expensive
well,
one.
Well, I think you're going to see a change in Apple's pricing model.
Well, we'll find out here probably in about a month.
Because I think you're going to see 1,000 is the new normal, which we
I
called.
I think that's right.
And it's kind of strange how quick people have become comfortable with that.
Yeah, that still bothers me.
Oh yeah, I agree. Well, when we come back, I've got a whole section here that I want to cover about China.
Well, I got something I want to cover.
You're going to put it. We're going to put it.
China.
We can
China.
put it all together.
China.
And hey, it's very interesting. Hey, Techie
China.
Show. Be right back.
Don't go anywhere. There's more in the queue lined up just for you.
Alabama Legacy Moment.
Cheaha Mountain, often called Mount Cheaha, is the highest natural point in Alabama at 2,407 feet above sea level. It is located in north central Alabama in Cheaha State Park, surrounded by the Talladega National Forest in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. This dramatic landscape gets its name from the Creek Indian name for the mountain, Chaha, meaning high place.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
When a child plays with blocks, the skills of a future engineer, rocket scientist, contractor, and architect are developing. When a child expresses himself with colors, paint, and clay, the skills of a future illustrator, author, and artist are being discovered. A child on the playground is developing the skills of a future athlete. When a child is involved in dramatic play, she's learning the skills of a future doctor, nurse, and veterinarian. In science center investigations, a young child practices the skills of a future horticulturist, inventor, and archaeologist. During circle time sharing, the skills of a future teacher, lawyer, and journalist are being explored. A child reading a story in the library is honing the skills of a future librarian, teacher, researcher, and writer. Future stars are born in the classroom's music center. In a first-class pre-K classroom, children do all these things, and in the meantime, they discover a lifetime love of learning. For more information, go to children.alabama.gov. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Early Childhood Education, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
This is an Alabama Legacy Moment.
In the late 1960s, NASCAR founder Bill France was hunting for a location for a new racetrack that would rival the size and speed of Daytona. Eventually, he settled on an abandoned airfield near Talladega, Alabama, and started construction on May 23, 1968. Hello, I'm Bobby Allison, NASCAR 1983 Cup champion and four-time winner here at Talladega Superspeedway as it was renamed in 1989. With 33-degree bank turns and 2.66 miles of asphalt, it's the fastest racetrack in the nation. Bill Elliott set the existing NASCAR speed record here in 1987. Every driver that's run at Talladega has had a wild ride or two. My final win here was over Dale Earnhardt by a fraction of a second. You never know who's going to make it the full 500 miles, and that's what makes Talladega one of the most exciting racetracks in the world.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show.
I got it.
If you could only hear what we say before we come on, it's probably as funny or if not funnier than the other stuff. But anyway, I wanted to just take a few minutes here, and Guru's got a great article too. But
article-ish.
Well,
yeah.
I remember you sending out this earlier.
Well, listen,
when first you're talking about, I was like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know that just recent? You probably did, Bruce. These numbers are staggering to me.
Staggering.
Yes, they are. Chinese internet users has surged to 802 million. 802 million.
50%.
Don't forget those 2 million. Those are important.
Well, it is over 800 million.
802.
That's a lot of folks. I know they have a lot of folks over there, but what I'm getting at is, and like Bruce has already stole my thunder there, 50%.
Over.
But it rose by 30 million apparently in the first half of the year.
And to think they can't even get to the whole internet.
Yeah, I know, and that's interesting.
The great firewall of China.
Yeah, and there's other articles that go along with this, and I won't, because along with that, the reason I bring this up is somebody that I saw the other day was talking about why are these companies giving in to the Chinese government?
There you go.
There you go. See, it was easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Money.
802 million people. 802 million opportunities.
Yeah. To harvest their data.
Or to anything. to have access to them one way or the other. Yeah. Either harvesting or giving information back to them. Yes, as Bruce pointed out, it's behind a giant firewall now. One of those issues...
I don't mean we can't exfiltrate data.
Right. One of those issues is recently come up again, which Apple has removed something like 25,000 apps from the Chinese-related app store, most of which is, interesting enough, is because they are connected to gambling in one form or fashion, and that is illegal, believe it or not.
In all of China.
Apparently, it's something that they...
thought they kind of invented that. I mean, as long as their civilization has been around.
For instance, they say that in this article right here, expansion of internet access is a double-edged sword, see? It is good for internet companies and good for the government if they want to control the population, but... it also means there are more risk. It's also easier for a lot of criminals to push gambling, internet pornography, or drugs because it's such a large internet market. So this is what the Chinese government wants to. They want control. Yeah. And that's what they're going to want, and that's what they're going to do. But my point is that this is not hard to understand in any way, shape, or form. When you've got 802 million people. Now, this is compare this to numbers taken back in December 31st of last year. Okay, I'm just going to run a few of these numbers real quick. Of actual internet users, according to the latest, let's see, top 20 countries with the highest internet users. China, over 1.4 billion people, estimated population in 2018. As of now, 802 million internet users. However, in December 31st of this past year, it was 772 million. Okay, so India, 1.3, almost 1.3 billion population, and 462 million as of December 31st. So not quite half. The United States, 326,766,000. And according to December 31st records, 312 million have access one way or the other to internet users, 312 million.
And what was the population?
326.
Wow. It's quite saturated.
Yes. Quite saturated. The rest of the list is Brazil, Indonesia, Japan, 127 million, 118 million internet users. So they're darn close.
Wonder if China has bandwidth caps.
Yeah, that's a good point. Russia is on the list at 7, Nigeria 8, Mexico 9. Mexico's 130 million estimated this year. In December 2017, 85 million internet users. According, Germany's on the list at 11, 82 million is population, and 79 million as of the end of 2017 is actual users. So the world total, let's see, that was okay. So compare these top 20, and they end up with Egypt is apparently the lowest. It has 99. It's not the lowest in population, but apparently the lowest in internet users. They're at about half, 99 million actual population, 48 million and some change on internet users. But it says in here the rest of the world is 2.4 trillion and 1.2 trillion internet users. Now, if those numbers all run together, I understand, but it is interesting, fascinating to me. The United Kingdom comes in at 14th on this top 20 list. France is 15th.
Those are, I mean, this land area.
Think about this.
Smaller.
Vietnam is 13th. Wait a minute. I don't see somebody on here that's sort of odd to me. I don't see South Korea on here
for
this on the top 20 list.
Because they're not in the top 20.
Apparently not. I would have thought.
Because Kim Jong Un is
I've heard
one
no,
user.
No, that's North Korea.
South Korea.
I said
South
Korea.
Excuse me.
I mean, we're talking about Samsung land.
Well,
but they're not in the top 20.
Do they consider internet cafes access to the internet?
I don't know how this is. Let's see.
Because that's the way a lot of them.
Top 20 internet countries.
You have a point there. What about the Philippines?
I don't know how this was taken because
there's a lot of people in the Philippines.
They're on here. 12.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if you said that one.
I didn't. I'm skipping around.
Okay.
But they are on here. You're hit it, Guru. They're above United Kingdom.
Well, there's a lot of people living in the
Philippines. What are the metrics we're measuring here? I was reading some other.
Well, I'm not 100% sure. I know that. I'm sorry, Bruce.
Oh.
I don't know whether what are the metrics. They just give
percentage of the population that has access to the internet?
Yes. I guess that's true. So
no,
it's numbers. It's not necessarily percentage. They give an internet. What they're doing is they're showing an internet growth between the year 2000 and 2017. Gotcha. I'm not going over the percentages.
That could be the reason why, because South Korea was probably already saturated that there wasn't a huge growth.
Yeah,
maybe.
But I see what you're saying. Yeah,
that's probably the percentage.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But anyway, I thought it was fascinating to me, and China is always going to be a huge market.
China.
Well, it is.
Doing my best Trump impression there.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
China.
You did pretty good there, Bruce.
China.
You are fake news.
I knew that was coming. I was just waiting for him to play.
China.
Oh. All right. So, Guru, what you got?
Oh, okay. My turn?
Sure.
They have great internet, I assume.
Well, it's fantastic. It's the best. It's the best.
Or so I've been told.
Anyway. So, this
go ahead, please.
Hush, Bruce. I'm going to cut your mic
Bruce.
off. So, have you heard of a person, he's a journalist, John Stossel?
Yes.
Bruce, have you heard of him?
Maybe. Yeah, I've heard of him.
Okay. So, he recently, as in a couple days ago, it was probably last week, he tweeted, YouTube has added a disclaimer to my global warming video saying, quote, evidence shows that the climate system is warming, end quote. I say that in my video too, but does YouTube really need to inject its opinion? Is there no room for nuance? And he links to a video he did called The Paris Climate Fraud, is what he titled it. And that was I kind of thought, that'd be something to talk about on the show. So in case you haven't seen this, like, apparently YouTube is now, on certain videos, it determines are of controversial, or not controversial, was not the right word. What do they call it? Conspiracy-prone topics is what they call it. Because there's an article from The Verge from July that I found that kind of got. Well, I found this article from The Verge that was early July, so it's not too old, but not breaking, obviously. But this is talking about from The Verge. YouTube is adding what they call quote authoritative end quote context to search results. What's this search results? This is actually in a video about conspiracy-prone topics like the moon landing and the Oklahoma City bombing, as well as putting $25 million towards news outlets producing videos. Today, the company announced a new step in its Google News Initiative, a program launched in March. The update is focused on reducing misinformation on YouTube, including the conspiracy theories that have flourished after events like the Parkland shooting. This update includes new features for breaking news updates and long-standing conspiracy theories. YouTube is implementing a change it announced in March, annotating conspiracy-related pages with text from trusted sources like Wikipedia and Encyclopedia Britannica. So, like in this case with John Stossel's video, if you pull it up, which I'm going to pull it up here. I got it muted so you won't hear it. But right below the video, there's a link. It says global warming. It's got like a excerpt of the first sentence or two from Wikipedia and then a link to the Wikipedia article for global warming. So it's kind of like, danger. This could be potentially it's almost like I take it as YouTube is kind of interjecting themselves on certain topics, saying you may want to read more about this because you're watching it on YouTube doesn't mean it's true.
Huh.
Because everything on the internet is true, right?
Well, it's on the internet, right? Isn't that true?
But of course, I don't think YouTube is curating these personally. They probably got some sort of algorithm that they're determining. Hey, we're going to stick this content right below the video because we think it may potentially not be true. So I say all that to say what say you two.
Well, we've got 42 seconds.
Well, we may have to save it for our dose.
Neither one of us can talk anything in 42 seconds. I'm just kidding.
Just something,
34 seconds.
Something to ponder and to think about.
Okay.
That's what I found. So it's kind of anticlimactic now. So we have like 25 seconds left.
No, I think we could carry it over an hour dose for sure. We got tons of stuff.
I'm going
to
to watch conspiracy videos during the break.
Oh, well, that's a real shock. I've got an opinion on this for sure.
Yeah. Well, good.
An opinion?
Yeah, I know you're surprised. Well, we've got our dose coming up next, right after this long news break, if we have news.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
If not, we'll start playing some music.
Sure.
No news is good news.
Sometimes. Hey, Techie Show. Stay with us. Be right back.
You've listened this long, so stick around for our dose.
In Washington, I'm Jack Speer. Senate Republicans are defending Attorney General Jeff Sessions after President Trump criticized Sessions for recusing himself from the Mueller investigation. NPR's Kelsey Snell reports key GOP senators are urging Trump not to fire Sessions.
The number 2 Republican in the Senate, John Cornyn, told reporters he doesn't think the Senate could confirm a new attorney general, and he cautioned President Trump against forcing Sessions out of the job.
I think it would be bad for the country. It'd be bad for the president. It'd be bad for the Department of Justice for him to be forced out under these circumstances.
Sessions was in the Senate for 20 years before Trump nominated him to be Attorney General. Republican senators have sprung to his defense many times as Trump has continued to criticize Sessions publicly. Kelsey Snell, NPR News, the Capitol.
Immigrant rights groups claim officials from Immigration and Customs Enforcement coerced migrants from families separated at the border to sign voluntary deportation documents. Texas Public Radio's Joey Palacios reports the American Immigration Lawyers Association and other groups filed a formal complaint today with Homeland Security.
The complaint claims immigration officials used a variety of intimidation tactics. It says some families were reunited briefly and then separated again if they refused to sign documents which had already been filled out. Katie Shepard of the Immigration Justice Campaign cites one example of a Honduran woman who was separated from her 9-year-old daughter for 47 days.
An ICE officer, nicknamed the Deporter, physically intimidated her while trying to get her to sign a voluntary departure form, standing over her menacingly and shouting at her to sign.
When asked for comment, Immigration and Customs Enforcement said due to ongoing litigation, ICE is unable to provide any details on this matter. For NPR News, I'm Joey Palacios in San Antonio.
Hurricane Lane continues to move closer to Hawaii's Big Island, the just downgraded Category 3 hurricane, swirling in the waters of the Pacific with maximum sustained winds of 111 to 129 miles an hour. The storm is now less than 300 miles south of Honolulu and moving northwest. Steve Goldstein is a NOAA meteorologist in Washington. He says Lane is not expected to hit Hawaii directly, but that may make little difference.
It will pass very close to the Hawaiian Islands and expected to have major impact. You do not need a direct strike to have major impacts from a hurricane this strong.
Already 12 inches of rain has fallen in as many hours as residents there stock up for the state's first hurricane since 1992. New home sales slumped in July for the second straight month in what appears to be part of a broader decline. The Commerce Department reports sales of new homes fell 1.7% last month to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 627,000. Stocks, after some mixed sessions in recent days, closed lower today. The Dow was down 76 points. You're listening to NPR.
Welcome into
the Hey Techies Show.
Our
dose.
And so glad to have everybody with you.
That was
with us.
Totally unscripted.
Well, everything is here.
That is true, especially with me.
Yeah. So the question on the table is it okay for YouTube to put disclaimers up on things that
it's basically it's a disclaimer.
It's a disclaimer. Let's just say
okay.
It's a disclaimer. That's the best way to explain it. On things they think is either conspiracy or they may think is untrue or that they just disagree with in general.
I just assumed that was in their terms of service, that anything you watch on may or may not be true.
Yeah, it could be.
I
would assume that is in there. Look, I don't want to discuss the legality of it, and the reason I'm not going to do that is because the point is,
I think it's perfectly legal.
That's what I'm getting at. There's no point to having that discuss. It's their platform. There's no point in having the discussion of that. Is it uncouth or that might not be the right word?
It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean.
Think about the back end of that.
Danged if you do, danged if you don't.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm thinking about the back end of what that takes to keep up with something like that. I mean, to have that.
Somebody. I would say it's probably just about like their stuff to track children's videos, whether they're appropriate or not. It's probably just as effective.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about.
I mean, they've got some sort of model that they can just plug in a parameter.
But I would assume things slip through their fingers.
Well, it's not foolproof, but I mean.
Well, I wonder too if they're starting, or if they've got a rating, kind of like how Facebook has a rating for their people now.
So they're flagging people, content creators.
But
it's not content creators. It's not the content creator; it's the content.
Well, based on the history of the content creator, they can say this person has a score of 0.8 on trustworthiness, on truthiness.
Oh, I'm sure that there are some people that want to do that.
I'm sure somebody.
I don't think it's on the channel itself, the content creator, because like I pulled up like this tweet from John Stossel, about the Paris climate fraud. That's what he's titled.
I'm saying on the back end. They've got something.
Well, but this video is marked as with a global warming thing, but then a Fox News thing that was also about Stossel, why climate change alarmists get it wrong. This is from 2017. It's also got the same thing. But I guarantee you not all of Stossel's stuff is probably marked as such.
All of Fox News probably should be.
Don't go there.
Hey, that's an opinion.
Like here's an article. Here's an article. Here's a video John Stossel did about the end of tipping.
And CNN stuff should say, wait 10 more minutes.
But this one has no kind of disclaimer.
The end of what?
Tipping. Like
cow tipping?
No.
We have to stop that?
Gratuity.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were having to stop that.
The cow tipping?
Yeah. I thought there was a national outcry.
Here's a good one. Plastic straw myths from John Stossel. Man, we can watch this all day.
Okay. Well, this is not the John Stossel.
There's no disclaimer.
What's the myth on the plastic straws?
Oh, they're getting rid of plastic straws.
Yeah, I've seen that. everywhere. I don't like using straws. I think
the only time I really use straws is whether there's several.
I think
times.
straws are invented by the beverage companies to make you consume your
Here we
beverage
go.
faster.
Put it back down. We don't have one of those blur
This
things.
this show not brought to you by anybody, not even us.
But barely brought to you by us. That's for sure. And certainly not scripted.
Disclaimer: Pepsi says it was totally Coke.
Yeah. This has already gone off the rails.
Save us, Mikey. Save us.
No, that's never gonna. You know me. That's never gonna happen.
I'm just saying. The plastic straws ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
Well, I knew they wouldn't. Okay,
I just don't use them.
Yeah,
well, good.
It's hard to drink a shake, a milkshake without a straw.
That I can understand.
It's just very
frozen.
difficult.
What are they going to do on that? I didn't think about that.
Well, I think about it because I love milkshakes.
Well, milkshakes got a lot of calories. That's the reason I don't drink milkshakes that often.
I mean,
milkshakes are evil.
Well, talk about straws. I mean, we're already off the rails here. Might as well just keep on going, right? So I went on my cruise in June. The cruise ship had no straws, and we had talked to one of the bartenders, and he's like, "Yeah, our company is going away from plastic straws."
But what about for daiquiris and stuff?
Well, hang on, I'm getting back. He was talking about they're working on getting like a paper biodegradable straw, but they haven't.
I don't like paper straws.
Well, they ain't come in yet, so they didn't have any straws at all.
Yeah, if I'm going to use a straw,
and if you'd have like a frozen beverage of some sort, you just didn't get a straw. Period. You were
SOL.
It was just hitting you in the face when you'd go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It got daiquiri all over my face. Man, that's...
Well, I still think there's problems.
No, you bring up a huge point that as a beverage consumer, I had not thought about the milkshake aspect.
Yeah, it's important.
That's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for. Hey, milkshakes are important.
They are important. They're
I'm
good.
telling you right now.
I wish I had a milkshake right now.
And after 8 o'clock, they're even better.
Hey, Bruce,
what's Sonic gonna do?
Yeah, after 8 o'clock, they're even better.
Hey, Bruce, go get us a milkshake.
Okay, be back in a jiffy.
I think it'll be a while before Alabama is places are kicking out.
Well, so I understand. This is the thing that people don't understand, because I think the whole thing about this is because about all the plastic trash in the ocean. It's not America that's doing it. We're actually really good at keeping all of our trash piled up in a field.
That's really good. That is a good point.
Everybody else we just
bury it in a big hole.
Yeah.
Just keep on cover it up and keep going.
Capture the gas.
Yes.
But no, and it's these other countries that are less sanitary and have less sanitary practices that they just let run off, take it, and then it goes into
You know
the
what I
ocean.
blame it on? Cruise ships. The whole thing is cruise ships.
No,
they're dumping more than
That's
just
why
their
they
sewage.
can't carry. It's right. They're dumping straws on purpose.
Yeah.
They laugh when they dump them over the side.
I'm offended by that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Hey, I bet there's a video there about cruise ships emptying their trash when they get back. I bet it's pretty large to offload.
No, well,
there's got to be a technology by now they've done.
Well, they recycle as much as they possibly can on those cruise ships. Because I actually did like a behind the scenes tour one time. And they have like a but anything they can recycle. I don't think they recycle straws because there's not enough plastic.
Yeah,
they
could wash them. 10 million there are,
but no,
they can wash them.
Yeah. But like they go through all the trash, and anything they recycle, they recycle. You know, like crushed cardboard, like crush it in a bale, or crushed glass, and then when they get back to port. They offload that. There's a supplier that comes and picks up all that.
Well, I was
going to
say a lot of that trash. You think they could burn and turn and use that heat to make steam, and then either turn an electric generator.
This ain't Alabama Power we're talking about.
I mean, I
don't know all the ins and outs, but I know they did show us where they recycle as much as they possibly can.
Okay, so speaking of another conundrum,
all right,
headline. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon miss out on money as millennials share passwords. What do you think about that?
Netflix has said they're not worried about that. Same with HBO. Well, AT&T owns them now, so they may have changed their...
They're not worried. You think that they're really not worried about subscribers?
Just turn on two-factor.
No, you can still... I mean...
What?
Just have two-factor makes it harder to share.
Well, yeah, I mean,
if you
would.
force everybody, but I mean, you gotta allow people to have more than one token.
Okay, so that brought up.
You don't allow
okay,
it.
so there's something I didn't know, which is not surprising.
You're going to lose a lot of people that just
I
don't want to fool.
I just threw that out there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I may be
true.
wrong.
No,
I mean,
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked about some, but so I brought this up because
I was taught to share.
sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, Michael.
Well, let me finish.
Brought to you by your tax dollars. At
Let
PBS.
me finish. So what I'm getting
Uncle
at,
Sam.
yeah, I knew you were going to keep going. You just can't help yourself.
can't.
At least you're honest and the real person. If you want to know real Bruce, this is really Bruce right here. You're getting the dose.
Yeah.
We're the real folks. We're not made up here. Nothing made up here. We're the real. What you
real
see is
deal.
what you get. Yeah. So anyway, what I was going to mention is that I've already forgotten what I was going to mention. Because you won't.
You're welcome.
Yeah. No, really. I did not realize that on Reddit, individuals, Guru, you probably didn't know this.
Talk about Reddit for a second.
Individuals post streams of live games on Reddit.
Really?
Where you can go pirate to watch. Really? Apparently there is.
Was it somebody like holding up their phone at the
No.
at the ball game or
Like
something?
like somebody who's restreaming something, or
Oh.
they have found some maybe like a password, maybe or
What's fun?
I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
Whenever you said games and Reddit together, my brain immediately went to video games.
No. This
I was like, how is it
football?
Yeah, I get
mostly
you.
football,
Soccer.
and soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer was a big one too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and you don't have to agree with me, and that's fine. That's okay.
Agree with you about what?
Here's the problem. We all assume,
Okay.
and I say it's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all assuming that who we're really sticking it to is the big three, the big money makers, the ESPNs, the
Disney.
the big CBS, the big Disney, the whatever you want.
It's like you're going to go through all these
Right.
like Disney.
Right, Disney, right.
Disney.
The big seven, Disney,
Oh, that one's not
Disney,
Yeah.
Fox. No, that's Disney.
Disney.
I'm sorry. I gotta wait a minute. Which one?
ABC.
Which one's not
Disney.
Disney anymore? Okay, so
You're saying we're not sticking it to the big man.
we think we are,
To the big
and
mouse.
maybe in some in Big Mouse, and maybe some areas could be right.
Sure.
But in my opinion, when you're talking about network draw, you're actually ending up hurting the local channel that you could be watching that's carrying that game or what have you. You miss out on the local sales of those ads, and that's really the little local channel is really who that ends up hurting because you're not watching that local channel.
I'm so confused here.
So what I'm saying is if you're streaming it somewhere else and you weren't supposed to be streaming it, what I'm getting at is I think I'm right. If it's on your local NBC.
Why wouldn't I just watch it there?
But that's what I'm saying. It's not people cutting cords. They're not watching any of that there. They're going to these places they can stream because they've cut the cord. They're not paying for any of that. They don't want to pay. And I understand not wanting to pay, but
Well, I would think a lot of people have access to digital air TV, and they would get their locals that way.
But not everybody. No, that is not true.
No,
that is hard.
When they moved digital television over there,
difficult to get your locals.
It's difficult for us to even get one channel here.
That's because of where we're at. But I
Well,
would say
I think
the
that's there's a lot
majority of the United States.
Well, irrelevant. You could be right on that, but irrelevant of that, I
'cause
still
in big cities, a lot of them don't even have that. I mean, that's what they've always grown up with. Is
Yeah.
what they could get in the air.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying. I think
did that
there
for
is.
a while.
I think there is. I think there is some damage that you're doing to other people that you don't know. They're not big guys. They're little guys. I just think there are. Now, I could be totally wrong, but that's just my opinion. So, anyway, but it is what it is. And if you share passwords, you share, that's probably, I have no doubt, against the EULA or whatever the agreement
sure. They
that
probably
you
say
signed.
you can't do that. But I would, if all you had was Netflix, Let's just say Netflix, for example. That's all I got. And I share that with somebody.
No,
I didn't even have that local channel to begin with, so they weren't.
No,
They
I'm
weren't
talking
losing
about
out on
live
anything
games.
extra.
That's the only place
Okay.
you're really going to make the money down the line
I see what you're
for ad revenue. Anything live.
Sure.
The rest of the stuff is, I mean, they're making some on popular shows, no doubt, but I'm talking about where they really pull in. They have to pull in the numbers.
Oh yeah.
And when you talk about in the South, for sure, live games is where they pull in the numbers.
But if there's
and across the
if
country,
if there's a lot of people that all they're doing is cutting the cord, you're going to have that one friend that isn't cutting the cord, and maybe you're just going to have more communal watching.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying. I think that
that local station gets the ad revenue anyway because they're paying to run that spot.
I understand.
How are you? I'm trying to still figure out how this is hurting the local.
I understand, but eventually, if enough people are not paying, then that local station is not going to get the revenue because they're not going to have the share.
Sure, but that's up to their marketing department to say.
Well, anyway,
"We've got
it's just
this
my
many people
opinion. Like I
watching."
said, I could be totally wrong, maybe
Yeah.
missing something here, but it's just the way.
Maybe I'm missing something.
No, you have your right. I see you've got some valid
course-
points
of course
there.
I do.
Yeah, of course. See how different I am about it. I'm
course.
agreeable,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
I'm
yeah, I know
agreeable
I'm
too.
right.
You
right.
can agree with
Sure.
me. Bruce is get off my lawn. It's my way or the highway.
Hey,
No,
Techie
I'm
Show. Be
agreeable.
right back.
No representation is made that the opinions of hosts here are better than those of the average tech show, but we think so.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
The Little River Canyon National Preserve, located in Cherokee County, was created in 1992 by an act of the U.S. Congress and was dedicated as a unit of the National Park Service. The area's focal point is the Little River, which flows along Lookout Mountain and is an outdoor recreation destination. Small waterfalls, sandstone bluffs, trails, creeks, and streams draw visitors to the area.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this
When a
station.
child plays with blocks, the skills of a future engineer, rocket scientist, contractor, and architect are developing. A child on the playground is practicing the skills of a future athlete. When a child creates art, the skills of a future illustrator, author, and artist are being discovered. In a first-class pre-K classroom, children do all these things and discover a lifetime love of learning. For more information on pre-K, go to children.alabama.gov or just Google pre-K in Alabama. Sponsored by Alabama Department of Early Childhood Education, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Alabama legacy moment.
Birmingham native Erskine Hawkins was a prominent African-American trumpeter, bandleader, and composer during the big band era of the 1930s and 40s. His Erskine Hawkins Orchestra was a popular dance band in New York City, and with it he recorded the hit Tuxedo Junction, about a streetcar intersection on the Ensley-Fairfield line that was a center of nightlife for African Americans. Hawkins is a member of the Alabama Music and the Alabama Jazz Halls of Fame.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
Welcome back into
the Hey Techies Show.
See ya. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
256-782.
5600,
If
and
you
you
wanna
can
talk
be
to
on
us.
the Hey Techie Show. And we have rumors. And if I pull mine up, I'll know how to talk. I'll know how to talk about it.
Spreading those.
Wait.
And it would not be a rumor segment if we didn't talk about Apple rumors.
Oh.
Hey, real quick, I got this shirt at Black Hat.
I see that.
From
So
CrowdStrike.
Is that a rumor too?
Yeah.
No,
Stood in
that's-
line for it.
Apparently, that's not a rumor.
Pressed it fresh.
He
right while I
actually
was there.
pressed it
Oh, cool.
fresh.
Yeah. It was hot.
Anyway, so 2018 iPhone pre-orders to take place on September 14th, according to German carriers. It's not coming from China. Leaks from the factories. Pre-orders for Apple's 2018 iPhone lineup will take place on Friday, September 14th, according to information Maserkoff. I'm not good at my German. Sourced from German carriers. Maserkoff.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Anyway, I'll skip you my poor pronunciation skills. German mobile service providers are said to be planning pre-orders that will take place September 14th, which would suggest an announcement earlier in the week, perhaps on September 11th or September 12th. And it goes on and shows the last couple of years and when Apple made their iPhone announcements, and so on and so forth, and that sort of thing. And down at the last paragraph, this year Apple's rumored to be unveiling 3 new iPhones. We've talked about that before, all of which will sport edge-to-edge displays, no home button, and support for Face ID, which don't talk about fingerprint, which that's not going to make me happy.
I told you.
There will be a second generation.
What'd you say? I'm sorry. I was looking something up.
I said it.
What'd you say?
The rumors are pointing to no Touch ID.
I told
on
you.
the new iPhones.
Told you.
Well, hang on. We're not there yet. Just hold on to that.
Okay.
Hold your
So
horses.
I'm going to come back and say, told you so.
Yeah, told you.
Anyway, that was a little loud to our listeners. I'm sorry. I kind of overmodulated this mic. There will be a second generation 5.8-inch OLED iPhone, a larger 6.5-inch OLED iPhone, and a more affordable 6.1-inch LCD iPhone.
This is what they believe.
Yeah, this is what the rumor has been pointing to.
Yeah.
So that's that, our iPhone rumor. Here's an interesting one. This one I kind of digging a little bit. So Apple is rumored to debut low-cost MacBook Air with Retina display and revamped Pro-focused Mac Mini in 2018.
Yeah, I know. They said back a while back that they hadn't forgotten about the Mac Mini. I mean, that's
Apple's
been a
working
rumor
on
for a
several
while.
new products in its Mac lineup, including a new low-cost MacBook Air. So I'm glad to see that. I like the MacBook Air. And a Pro-focused Mac Mini. So the new upcoming low-cost MacBook Air will be similar to the current MacBook Air, but with slimmer bezels, rounded display, and will continue to be sized around 13 inches and will feature a Retina display. So interesting there. I thought they were done with the MacBook Air because they have the MacBook Pro, but they're still holding on to it. There must be still a demand for it. It says here Apple's continuing to make new MacBook models as well, and it's not clear how the company will differentiate the new MacBook Air from the MacBook. Right now, MacBook's higher price tag, slimmer body, and Retina display set it apart from the MacBook Air. But if this one has Retina, then anyway, we'll see. Apple's also said to be working on an upgrade to the Mac Mini, which has not seen an update since October 2014. So we're pushing 4 years since a major update to the Mac Mini. And the Mac Mini, for those who do not know, is basically bring your own keyboard, mouse, and monitor Mac. Looks like kind of like the old school Apple TV kind of form factor. A little bit bigger, a little bit thicker. But think of that form factor. Some of the ultra small, desktop PCs like Dell produces that kind of form factor.
Right.
Anyway, little details available about this upcoming refresh to the Mac Mini or new Mac Mini, but it is said to be focused on pro users with new storage and processor options that are likely to make it more expensive than previous Mac Mini products. Well, surprise, surprise. 2017 rumors suggested Apple was working on a Mac Mini that, quote, won't be so mini anymore, end quote, which would be in line with the machine that has more powerful, less compact components. Bloomberg suggests Apple could potentially be planning to introduce new Macs in October, following a September event that will launch the new iPhones and new Apple Watch models.
Oh, sure. Over the next September, October, that's what we're looking at.
Here's a little extra little bonus. This is a bonus rumor. New iPad Pro models with Face ID are also in the works. This iPad Pro with Face ID, but it's not clear if these will debut in September or October. I'm kind of intrigued about this Mac Mini.
Yeah, but the problem I've had with the Mac Mini, and I actually have dealt with one.
Okay,
they've always really skimped on the power for that thing. I mean, even the early models, they were way below power to cut the cost down. It was way.
They sound like most thing Apple is overpriced.
But listen, they said it's going to be pro focused, and it's not going to be. The price points are obviously going to come up if they go more. What if they were to do one with an i7, i5?
But it's always been in the hard drive area where it's been so terrible.
I would think.
What if they give you an SSD option?
Well, they're going. That will happen.
That it needs to be standard.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's going to happen.
I agree. Now, if they were to do like an i7 Mac Mini or whatever they're going to call it,
with 32 gigs of RAM.
No.
Well, that'll cost you $1 million from Apple.
Yeah.
If this is this, I would buy it if it was an i7.
Okay.
And it was 16 gig.
What generation of us?
Well,
you know they're going to be like 2 or 3 generations behind.
I ain't that particular.
Oh, I don't know. It might be the latest.
An i7, 16 gigs of RAM, and I need a terabyte SSD.
Whew.
I could get by with 500 in the external.
Well, that's going to be more than $599.
I know it is. But if
$499 was one of their cheaper models.
But if they could pull that off,
$1,000.
Well, if it is, I would still buy it. Because, like I've said before, and you may have missed the episode, Bruce, when I mentioned this, I'm using a MacBook Air attached to a 32-inch 4K display at the house, and I like my display. I like the real estate, but sometimes I'm doing some intensive things like video editing. It chokes. Final Cut chokes on that processor in that Air that I have. And my Air is several years old. My MacBook Air. But the iMac I had was even slower, so I'm trying to refresh, and I do not want an iMac or iMac Pro. I like my display, so I want something I can plug in. I'm not prepared to spend $2,500 on a adequately spec'd MacBook Pro when I don't need the notebook aspect.
You know what kind of desktop I could build you for $2,500?
But I need a Mac.
I mean, I can Hackintosh it.
No, he wants them.
I want a Mac for my house.
No Hackintosh. That's terrible.
So if they can come out with
How's
that,
terrible.
So I know Tim Cook.
I've seen him.
I know Tim Cook is listening. So if you can pull that off,
this is one of his main podcasts every Friday morning.
He clears his schedule.
I guarantee you,
clears his schedule.
Sure.
No, because think about this. Like there's been these rumors about these rumors about rumors. No, the rumored refresh and update to the Mac Pro, which is currently that trash can Mac, as I like to call it. That one's going to be. I would like to have one of those when they refresh them, but the price point is going to be way up there because, I mean the starting processor. I mean this has got server grade processor. This is super high end, more than I really need. Would I like to have one? Yes, but am I prepared to pay $5,000 for one? No, that's way out of my budget. So I'm curious about this. I was like, interesting. I still got one more thing. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna spend the rest of the show talking about rumors.
Talking about
this is my last one. 2018 iPhones may feature faster and more efficient wireless charging with switch to copper coil, which I thought they all use a copper coil for wireless charging. Obviously not. So. A translated China Times report today claims that the wireless charging coil on at least one of Apple's widely rumored 2018 iPhones will be made from copper wire instead of FPC, short for ferrite polymer composite. allowing for both faster and more efficient wireless charging from a technical standpoint. So theoretically, it could charge faster. Essentially, the report claims that Apple will be switching from thinner FPC coils with higher resistance to thicker copper wire coils with lower resistance for the wireless charging receiver built into iPhones. So just throw that out there.
Well, the
latest
wireless tech for charging is going to get better.
Oh yeah,
over
yeah. And
time.
the current,
It have to.
the latest iPhone models support wireless charging at up to 7.5 watts, which actually isn't much faster than wire charging with a 5-watt power adapter due to efficiency limitations of the FPC coil. Switch to copper would yield improvements, assuming that Apple found a way to fit the thicker coil in its next iPhones. So,
I've never had a phone with a wireless charging.
Mine does.
Yeah,
I have a
know.
charger in my car, and a Qi charger, and it's nice to have. It is slow. It's not fast at all, but it's like, I can just pop it up there and start charging.
I was gonna say, if you sleep 6 hours a night, that's plenty of time.
Oh,
to get
yeah,
a slow charge to get it charged.
I just plug mine up to that USB-C and it charges away
in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's ready. I'm like, I don't need you for like 5 more hours, buddy.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyway, that's the last rumor I have.
I think you've covered the rumors.
You had one?
Nah, I don't think.
Well,
the one rumor that I had, really, there was two.
You want to make a rumor up, Bruce?
Oh, yeah,
He's always can. Apparently, over in Russia, or a Russian blog has released some pictures and information.
They've admitted to the
election
meddling.
Supposedly, a couple of boxes of Pixel 3 XLs, the new one, has been stolen, and apparently they have some pictures.
Some Russian meddling.
And it's going to do wireless charging, is what I've heard.
Well, that'd be interesting. But you still don't like it.
I'm not excited about this
because it's going to have a notch,
and it won't have USB-C.
So does the.
Well, not just that. There's no major changes that make me think, man, I really want that phone.
You getting cold?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow, I'm burning
I've got
up.
the air right on the
switch.
Yeah, we do need to switch occasionally. But yeah, I'm just not.
Come sit over here,
I'm
Bruce.
not excited about the phone. I'm not. It's. Like I said, I know it's still going to have the dual front-facing speakers. I'm glad they kept that, but I'm kind of wondering at what point now, if everybody's wanting to go edge to edge, and you are not going to figure out a way to incorporate the speakers behind that.
Will they drop speakers?
Yeah, is it time to drop that?
Well, they're already dropping the.
Can't have your cake and eat it too.
That's right. They're dropping. Many of them have dropped the headphone jack.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's gone south. And with those pictures, also it showed a pair of headsets that has a USB-C connector.
Yeah. Yep.
Mini buds.
Which
honestly,
I don't know how people feel about most of the headsets that come with phones.
I was going to ask you about that.
Except for the ones that was it HTC that I had for a while that came with the Beats headphones. Those were like the only ones that were halfway worth keeping. But like normally your standard, and now there's a lot of people that like the standard Apple headphones.
Oh, I can't stand them. They won't stand in my ears at all. It's awful.
So, but Tim Cook said they're the best ever made.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean the best of the best.
Yeah, I'm gonna get $1 million tomorrow too.
Really?
I don't like most of the headphones that.
You're a French model?
Did our phone even come? Our phone didn't come with headphones.
It's got to be true.
This last time, did it?
What?
No headphones. No headphones last time, which was okay. My wife Samsung actually came with a pair of nice earbuds. They were pretty nice actually. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
they feel bad because of their interface is awful.
Did you already?
Oh God, Samsung is horrible.
I know. We talk about that all the time. I've never cared for the earbuds. I can't keep them in my ear. I think somebody else mentioned that a while ago that you were talking.
I just said that about the Apple ones.
Yeah, I don't care what they are. I can never keep those things in my ear.
Well, the ones that have like the foam or the little
I don't care.
Those that you. I can't describe.
Well, I was
I've
saying
tried.
My Bose earbuds have like an extra thing that goes up kind of into
Yeah,
the
I've
other
seen
part of
those.
your
I've
ear.
often wondered if those work.
And they work for me. Yeah.
Okay.
They work so much better.
The ones that kind of you stick in your ear and they kind of have some friction.
Well, and they also have like
material to kind of keep
an
it in
extra
there.
like fin on the top that kind of goes into this part of your ear back here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I'm sure that's hard to design for because I mean,
Oh, it is.
How do you? What's a normal ear?
No, I know. I agree.
That would be very difficult. I've always wanted a pair of those earphones. Like you go to an audiologist and they make the molds.
Sure, mold your
that'd
ear.
be great.
They're like very expensive, more than I want to spend.
Probably.
Where you get the molds and then they send the molds off and they like custom.
Mm-hmm.
They better be good.
I don't know anybody that has them, and I would love to try some
Experience
out,
it.
but you'd
Well,
have to get
these
them.
are already made for me. I guess I'll just take them. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you'd like for us to do a review, let us know.
Let us know. We'll try them out.
Yeah.
So are rumors over?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we started talking a little bit about YouTube and them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess interjecting their comments. But we were talking about this a little bit before the show about everybody pulling good old Alex Jones.
Yes.
And Senator Ron Wyden says there should be consequences for platforms that don't remove people like Alex Jones. And to me, this is dangerous. Now, everybody knows I love conspiracies. I don't believe them, but they're just great stories.
You find them fascinating,
Yeah,
and you like to listen to them.
So I do think Alex Jones is pretty nuts. He's sometimes funny to listen to. Of course, I haven't listened to him in years, to be honest. But the government stating that there should be consequences is a bad thing.
It is. I agree.
I think if YouTube wants to pull them, if Facebook wants to pull them,
right?
If Twitter wants to pull them, that is totally up to them. But when you start dictating the removal of Alex Jones and people like him, that's totally your opinion on what you think is like.
That's the problem. At what point is the who is like him ends up being you? To me, that's
you know what, Senator
you might not
Ron,
really be like him, but you might be similar, or you have some similar view.
Are you Mr. Wyden? I'm sure we can go back to some of your history and say, well, you're right. You shouldn't be on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I just think it's dangerous, and if you have a senator or representative that is just this.
Well, look,
I'm trying to think of a politically or just a nice way of saying idiot. Vote them out. Don't keep them.
Well,
so it just blows my mind that they they say these things and don't.
Did we ever hear this kind of outcry back when there was magazines? People printed magazines.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, but there was magazines printed, and there was probably some things in there that were conspiratorial type stuff, but they were sold, and people bought subscriptions, and they were mailed to their house.
Yeah, but the ease of reaching a market is
I get
changed.
that. I agree with that.
It's readily available, and now like YouTube putting out hey, here's some evidence to refute. I don't understand why they're invested in that. I don't know. Like I said, it was for them. It's danged if you do, danged if you don't. Because why aren't you regulating this? Why aren't you policing? Why aren't you informing your, the users that what they're watching is false information? It's like,
well, take it down. I still don't understand. If you don't believe in it that much, rather,
why should your beliefs matter? That's not YouTube's model. I think that's the thing is that all these
well, I don't disagree with you. I'm saying
their model isn't to promote what they believe in.
Well,
their YouTube's model is
no, I get it, but I think there are pressures being laid bare.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
That they are wanting the model to police itself more closely for things that some people don't agree with or don't want to hear or don't want
See,
told.
this is what happens when all you normies get on the internet. It's not what the internet's for. It's the internet. Leave it alone. It was so much better before all these people got on.
I just told you how many people were on the internet now.
Yeah, that's
Earlier.
Terrible news.
It's too many. Somebody's got to have to flip that
news.
DVD eventually.
Yeah.
With so many on the internet, we're gonna run out.
That's the problem. Too many people.
Now you're trying to limit people to keep it quiet, right?
Like, go back to the way it
listen,
was.
don't ruin Bruce's internet.
When you've got too many tabs open in your browser, or too many programs open on your computer, and it slows down.
Do not limit Bruce's internet, dadgummit.
It just blows my mind.
Blows my mind too.
Apparently,
it blows my mind. And
We'll
it blows your
talk
mind.
about some stuff offline.
See.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can't talk about it on the air.
Hey, Techie Show. Be right back.
Start.
Is best known as the author of one of the most affecting and widely read books of American literature, To Kill a Mockingbird. The native Alabamian drew deeply from her coming-of-age years in her small hometown of Monroeville. The film version of To Kill a Mockingbird underscored the success of the novel with its own success.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard. Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
An Alabama legacy moment.
Ruby Pickens Tart was one of the foremost chroniclers of folklore, folk music, and narratives of African Americans in rural Alabama. She helped to fill the manuscript and music collections of the Library of Congress and the Federal Writers Project. Ruby Pickens Tart continues to affect the world of folk music and culture as her notes are rediscovered by a new generation of scholars and musicians. She was inducted into the Alabama Women's Hall of Fame in 1980.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
Welcome back in to the last segment of the Hey Techie Show.
Oh, it's almost over.
Yeah.
But we'll be here Sunday.
No, I haven't been able to be getting those
we're
done.
not doing the replays?
I'm too busy to get those edited.
Lazy.
Once you work on them, Bruce.
I got stuff.
Yeah, see. I'm doing the notes.
I got stuff going on.
And
if you're interested in being an intern for the show,
still wouldn't have time to edit anything.
Email us questions at heytechieshow.com
Yeah,
or Michael at heytechieshow.com.
Yeah, that's true.
We've got a spot right here.
That is true.
Well, they don't even have to be here.
Or you can
they
be
just
there.
listen
Yeah,
to the show, and they can do
Be
the
anywhere.
show notes. You can be anywhere.
You can
2
be
hours.
You can be sitting on the beach.
Yeah, sure.
Work
We're on the internet.
remotely.
We're on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on the internet.
We are. We're streamed on the internet.
Where the weird things belong.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Sometimes it is weird here, and that's okay.
So, with all the fires going on in California,
yes.
Did you see where Verizon was throttling?
I heard about this.
The first responders because they
What?
went over their data cap.
But how?
They're let me rephrase that. They're unlimited. They used all their unlimited data.
What? But it was unlimited. It's supposed to be unlimited.
So this is the thing. They throttled them down to 50 to 80 kilobytes per second.
Ooh.
That is not throttling. That's a DOS. That is a denial of service. Verizon has stated, and the thing is,
we made a mistake.
What?
I mean, they said that.
Oh no,
I don't know.
They said this was a customer service issue because when they called in, they said, "Well, you'll have to upgrade your plan before we can."
There's some
customer
customer service training needed.
Yeah, well, Verizon said this was a customer service thing. Like they shouldn't have been throttled because, basically there was regulations put in place that they wouldn't do that because they accepted government money. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So. And plus, too, whenever they repealed net neutrality, this was the example of having net neutrality was going to keep first responders from getting priority. So that's been repealed, and same thing happened. So, great job, Verizon. The fire department, the chief is not accepting their excuse. I will say that. So it's gonna be interesting what comes of this, because this is where.
Now I have a question.
Okay,
is this fire department owned products or individual phones?
No, this is the fire department.
Okay, so they have service with Verizon.
Yeah,
with
they
equipment.
pay a bill for.
Correct. Right. I got
for
it.
unlimited data.
Right, I got
Asterisk.
it.
Asterisk.
But Verizon wouldn't know.
It's unlimited until we say it's not unlimited.
Verizon wouldn't know at the time that they're throttling firemen.
They could.
I would say if they have a contract with, it's not when you go set up a contract like that with one of these agencies.
I'm not defending.
It's not like,
I'm learning.
Well, I'm going to say it's not like
they
you
have
and
a
I
way
going
of,
and getting a contract.
They have a way of identifying them
Absolutely.
differently.
But
they don't
it's
need
not
to
like
figure
a
out
person hits a button and says, "Okay, you're throttled."
No, it's all systematically controlled.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, well, I would say whenever they call in that customer service, well, there's nothing we can do until you upgrade.
See,
that I get. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't think they were.
Well, the proper things weren't put in place. I'm sure they had agreements that during emergencies that they can't be throttled.
Well, of course.
And Verizon didn't uphold their end of the deal.
Well, I don't disagree with that. I'm not. I'm
And they weren't-
I'm not
and they
saying. I'm
weren't
not
planning
defending
on it.
There
They
is-
weren't planning
Well,
on
it's
it.
twofold.
I
here.
still don't
Listen,
think. I think this is automated. I don't think
No.
they said, "Oh, these are firemen and they're in a fire."
Problem's twofold. Part of it is automation or not identifying these accounts that do not throttle these people.
Yeah.
However, that's done, which can be done.
Yeah, it can.
Second thing is the customer service issue when they called in after being throttled, and they're like, "Too bad."
Look.
So there's two problems here.
Well, there's a third one, and here's my problem with it.
Okay.
Michael's problem's the third problem.
No, I do.
Okay.
I do agree with Bruce on one major issue. Don't use the word unlimited if it's not.
I agree.
It's the same issue
we
I
have said that on the show
The
many
same
times.
issue
You're right.
I have with Tesla about their product, some of their products, and the way they word their stuff. If it's
yeah.
not,
It's not autopilot.
It's not autopilot.
Yeah, I agree. That's
don't
a very,
use that name.
Yeah.
And don't use unlimited if there are caveats to it and it's not unlimited.
Let me look this up.
Another thing, and I know this is, but I can't stand the other thing that it drives me crazy is the word, hey, it's free. No, it's included in the price.
Correct.
The only way something's free is if I drive up to that place and they give it to me and I walk out the door and I don't pay anything.
And there's no conditions.
No condition. That's free. Buy one, get one free is another free offer if you buy one.
If that's double the price.
Well, yeah, I know, but my point is that I agree that this is a goof up with Verizon again.
Well, and you're right. The unlimited piece that's
But
third, but
you should have never gotten there.
Regardless of how they packaged and named this thing, like they screwed up big time.
I agree that it should not have been done. I think it first of all, they don't gain anything from this. They look bad.
Yeah.
There's no reason to do this. I get if they have an agreement and you pay what you pay and you get this much. I understand that. But they've got to look at this whole unlimited thing. If it's really not unlimited, they need to drop saying that because it's ridiculous. And I don't care who it is or what company it is.
So I'm not saying that dictionary.com is the be-all, end-all for definitions.
Here we go.
But no. I had to think of, I wanted to look up autopilot, which it then turned me to automatic pilot. And it's a noun in aeronautics, an airborne electronic control system that automatically maintains a preset heading and altitude. So I would say that if you applied that to what Tesla's doing, then it is an autopilot. It maintains a preset, but I would say,
but people
active steering.
We've beat this into the ground.
It's like autopilot on a plane, an airliner
That's
that
what
has
I just
autopilot.
read.
I'm saying, but just because you've got autopilot turned on doesn't mean the pilots go to the back and eat dinner.
Yeah, so I think that's
they're-
more of
they're-
a misunderstanding.
They're
of-
monitoring and if Miami Rick was on the show,
I don't disagree with
he's
that.
our official pilot of the show, but
that it's a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like the pilots just go whatever. I mean, they're up there monitoring.
But the general
the aircraft.
conception, and understanding autopilot means it's completely automatic.
Sometimes the general conception is a movie called Airplane.
What's your vector?
About how people fly.
Roger,
and how
Roger.
And how
what's
it
your
works.
what's your vector,
Victor?
Roger.
I'm just saying. But I totally agree about the unlimited
Don't call
thing.
me Shirley.
I think that we just
Surely you can't be serious.
It just needs to be truthful.
Preach it.
Well,
Preach
it does.
Preach it, brother Mikey.
No, I
Preach
agree
it.
with you on the unlimited thing. That's it. That
I mean, that's just ridiculous. They should have never started using the word unlimited if it wasn't going to be.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
which all their unlimited plans now, because they have like
I
4
know,
unlimited
and
plans. That's all their plans. They're all unlimited.
I know. It's
Kinda.
just- How can you have different unlimited plans? That's stupid too.
I really do. I want to walk up. I want your unlimited plan.
Yeah, right.
Well, which one would you like?
No. You don't understand.
The
I want
unlimited
the
one.
truly unlimited plan.
The-
What? We don't have that.
Yeah. I
I'll
want
give
the-
you this unlimited plan.
By definition, unlimited.
Yeah, right.
What's the definition of unlimited in dictionary.com?
Let's look that up.
Yeah, so
I'm sure
Not
it says
not limited.
not limited, never ending, not bound by limits,
Not bound by limits. Yes.
not limited or restricted in terms of number, quantity, or extent.
There you go.
There you go. Verizon, are you listening?
Synonyms: inexhaustible, limitless.
No, it's inexhaustible us having to talk about this.
boundless, immeasurable, incalculable, infinite, endless, bottomless.
That is their unlimited data is everything that is not.
Well, it's not bottomless. I can tell you
Endless,
that.
endless soup and breadsticks.
Yeah, is that an example? Well, you know what the problem is with that? There is an end to endless soup and breadsticks, and I want to tell you what it is.
No more notches in your belt.
Yeah, when your stomach can't take anymore, it's limited. Then
Merriam-Webster, unlimited, lacking any controls, unrestricted.
yeah.
So you were putting controls on my unlimited data,
Right.
Therefore,
I agree.
it is
It's
not
unlimited. I've said.
I just don't see how they haven't had their pantsuit off.
Well, it's all the asterisks
Well,
and legalese and lawyers that have been able to get
man,
to write all
I
that.
just burn down the building.
Now,
Milton.
Now, see,
It's
I'm
Office
not-
Space joke. I just want my red stapler. red swing line. Burn down the building.
Okay. Hey, did you guys know that Walmart apparently is launching a ebook store?
I did.
Well, they got to compete with Amazon some other way. So
Yeah.
Now they want to compete with Amazon and
Let's hit them where they
Are
started.
they going to have their own device? I mean, how is this going to be delivered?
I guess through an app.
on cards.
It's an ebook.
No, let's see.
You can
The
go in the
service
store and
is
buy a card.
It's called.
Of the book.
It's along with it's going to be called a Kobo e-readers.
Yep.
Kobo.
It's for iOS app and Android.
But you can buy the ebook in store
See,
on a gift card, basically.
It'll be
okay.
effectively builds upon Raccoon.
Raccoon.
Yeah, no.
On them
That's not how you
raccoons.
pronounce it. Raccoon's existing Kobo service.
Probably Raccoon out that back door there.
Yeah, including its extensive ebook library that includes bestsellers, indie titles, and children's books, apparently. Let's see. Let's see. Digital book cards from 3,500 Walmart locations will roll out the stores this week. It says right here the service also provide audiobooks.
What if I can order one through the online grocery
let's see.
pickup?
It says options that provide audiobooks per month for $9.99.
Hey, real quick before
you got about
we haven't had this in a while, but the hack of the week.
Yeah. Bring it back.
We were gonna go with the DEF CON. The Black Hat database getting, but millions of Texas voter records exposed online. Over 14 million detailed voter records were found on an unprotected server. So that is our hack of the week.
14 million.
That's nothing.
Good
to
old,
the aliens came down. They
good
probably got
old
everybody's.
Texas. So they beat out what happened in Black. Probably
don't
by,
mess with Texas. They said don't mess with us. We're gonna beat you. Watch this.
Yeah.
And I have no links.
It's there. I put it in there.
Oh, just now?
Yeah, because
better late than never.
I just said it.
I didn't get the one about the politician.
Is that
whatever
breaking news?
That was totally just straight from me.
Oh, I see. No link.
Which one did you not get?
We'll talk about it later.
All righty.
Yeah. Well, look. We are into the fall season here at Jacksonville State University.
I know the weather is nice and comfortable today.
And JSU will be playing this weekend.
Yeah,
we're on
Gamecocks.
we're on ESPN. We're playing in the Crampton Bowl. I think it is.
Espen.
Yeah, we're
at the Crampton Bowl. Montgomery.
I'm gonna have to go
visit.
Cramps. Yeah. I don't think that's who they're playing.
No, who are they playing?
Oh, I knew it and I forgot it. Sorry about that.
This is the Hey Techies show.
It's the
you can't expect us to know that.
One of the first college football games of this season.
It is.
Yeah, go Gamecocks and fear the beak.
Yeah. So we thank you so much for listening and appreciate your attentiveness and all those good things. And,
attentiveness?
Yeah.
I tried to be.
Hope to see you next week. From all of us to all of you, have a fabulous weekend.